So we have the pleasure of speaking this afternoon with Dr. Michael Weinstock, who graciously served as president of Jewish Family Service about roughly 15 years ago. Michael, why did you decide to accept the presidency of Jewish Family Service?
Well, at that particular time, first, let's go back a little bit before that, in that how I came to be on the board. It was obviously very much wrapped up in my position at Lehigh Valley Hospital, but I felt that it was appropriate and necessary for me personally to get out into the community and serve the community in a different way, and especially the Jewish community. So my wife Leslie was already on the board of Jewish Family Service. She described the activities, and I began to formulate in my own mind, well, that was very exciting. They were doing some interesting stuff. And so at that time, I joined the board. Within about a year of joining the board, Beverly Volk, I believe, stepped down, and there was a vacancy. And, everybody's always hesitant about taking over a position like that. I hadn't been on the board for a very long time, but I decided that if people would accept that, I took the position and began to really start formulating in my own mind where was Jewish Family Service going and how was it going to serve the Jewish community, and beyond, even beyond the Jewish community, but serve the community in general. And I was very much aware that there was very little available in the Allentown area for aging Jews, those that required either care, constant care, those that were in the nursing home. And we began to see that even that was kind of fading in terms of its value and its intensity and its use for the Jewish people. So the idea always was brewing, how do you serve the people who want to age in place? And we really looked at that and found that there's so many issues involved in terms of transportation, in terms of food safety, in terms of medical care, that it wasn't going to be an easy task. But we certainly set out to do that. The second thing was, very unfortunately, Phyllis Rangel, who was the director at that time, got gravely ill. At first, she was handling the job well, but slowly she began to go downhill, and then we were really being very assistive in going along, but in the end, she died suddenly, and there we were without an administrative leader. And so Leslie really undertook that task of doing a search, and that's how we found Debbie.
Leslie,
Leslie, my wife. Yes. Oh yeah, Leslie, my wife, really undertook a search, and we interviewed a lot of people. We saw a lot of people. We brought other members of the board to meet these prospective, and we finally decided on Debbie Zoller. And it's my understanding, I haven't been there in a long time, there certainly has been no regrets about that. Yeah, I think the staff was changed and energized, totally energized. I think the board was energized. The board even got involved in the daily activities of of JFS. Instead of just meeting once a month and discussing a whole bunch of issues, they began to jump in and do the day-to-day work. And we had some excellent members with really wonderful credentials who were able to jump in and really be assistive in just expanding the services that JFS offers. JFS has really grown in terms of its recognition, and people who are seeing the value and therefore contributing to that value and sustaining it and making it grow. And that's what it's got to continue to do.